Hi, my name is Monica Duarte, and I am a brand identity alchemist and spiritual coach, and I'm here to assist you in transforming your life and brand from the inside out. Today, what we're going to be doing is going over another client of mine, a past client's Oracle brand book. So if you have a business, or you are starting a business or considering starting a business, you're going to want to watch this video, because one of the services that I offer and provide to my clients is actually helping them create a brand, a solid brand that feels authentic to them and actually connects with the right audience. And especially if you are a business that makes a positive impact in the world or is a transformative business, the traditional way of branding may not necessarily work with you. You might be the kind of person that you want your brand to feel authentic with who you are and to connect with the right audience. And this type of branding is going to be way better for you, and it's going to work a lot better for you, because that's what this type of branding that I offer is about. So what makes me different from other brand strategists or designers is that I work with archetypes. Archetypes are basically patterns or tendency that repeat throughout history and time. And you can actually find them everywhere in life, in the world, but they're very well seen and known in art, in literature, in mythology, just to name a few examples. But again, you can use them, or you can find them anywhere. And what makes this really powerful, a really powerful tool, is that the archetypes live in the unconscious mind and the collective unconscious, which means that they live in the unconscious mind of every human being. So there's 12 main archetypes, and those 12 main archetypes have a lot of sub archetypes or subcategories. But with the work that I do, I focus on the 12 main ones. So what that means is that you may have archetypes operating in your unconscious mind that other people may actually have. So when you can become aware of what those archetypes are, you can not only understand yourself better on a deeper level, but you can also work with that energy and those archetypes to attract the right audience and to communicate with the right audience. So you can use them. You can use them to create your brand, which makes it way more powerful than traditional branding, because you're literally working with something much deeper that's happening not only in your unconscious mind, but in the unconscious mind of others as well. And that means that you actually create a brand that's authentic to you, and you actually work and start to attract the right audience that really matches what you're about, what your mission is about. And again, I have experience both in the traditional like advertising industry and creative world, but I also have experience and education in the whole metaphysical aspect and spiritual aspect of life. So with me, I'm able to take this kind of more abstract, archetypal idea and actually convert it into a strategy or a brand or something that's actually marketable, that you can actually put out there and connect with the right audience. So like I said, today we're going to go over one of my past clients' Oracle brand books. Basically, when you work with me, we go through this archetypal process, which is kind of really intensive. And it's the whole point of that is to get to know what your archetypes are, and then to be able to use that to actually create a strategy for your brand. And then after that, I create this beautiful brand book for you. And the brand book is basically what you use to create all your marketing assets. It's basically your brand. It's a book that you go to make sure that you're in alignment with your brand strategy, with your audience. And when you're creating assets, like marketing assets, that they're actually in alignment with your brand and with your audience. So I call it an Oracle brand book because it's literally something you use moving forward in your business when you're creating marketing assets, or when you're looking to understand how to connect with your audience better. You go to this. The other thing that you can do with this book is that you can, when you hire a creative person, maybe somebody to design a website for you, or to design business cards, or landing pages, you would give them a copy of this book, and they would use that to make sure that whatever they're creating is in alignment with your brand, with your soul brand. And a good designer and a good creative person will want this. Like, they will actually appreciate you giving them this, because this is literally the foundation that they need in order to create something really solid and beautiful for you. And that actually is in alignment with you and your business, And it makes it a lot easier for them to create ideas and kind of, guide them on, whatever it is that you're looking for. This is something that is very powerful and important to have in your business, because one of the things that you need to do in your business in order for people to purchase from you is to create trust. And the way you do that is by being consistent with your marketing, by being consistent with your messaging, by being consistent with your brand story, and that everything stays consistent. If you don't have that consistency, it makes people feel overwhelmed and all over the place, and they don't really understand what you're about. So it's going to take longer for them to actually trust you and buy anything from you. So that's one of the important things or reasons why you should have a really solid brand for your business, and why working with Archetypes and having this Oracle brand book is actually going to be a really powerful asset for your business as well. Now, before we get started with going through Susie's book here, I just wanted to say this work is copyrighted to me. It's literally work that I did, that I put a lot of effort, and me and my client put a lot of effort into this. So I'm sharing this for informational purposes only, for educational purposes only. And obviously it's copyrighted to me, so you're welcome to be inspired by it, but you obviously cannot copy any part of this or take any part of this for any reason. And you wouldn't want to anyways, because it wouldn't be authentic to you. And if you are watching this video or even navigating my channel, you're here because you want to create a more authentic brand or be more authentic with yourself. So doing, taking this work and trying to create it for you, like do it for you, wouldn't be authentic. It's not really what I'm about, or not really what you're about. So definitely use this, use this video to help you understand the work that I provide, and also to help you understand, if you're looking to create an authentic brand, how you can do that by working with Archetypes. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're looking at one of my past clients. Her name is Susie, and she has this really awesome massage therapy business. I met Susie when I was living in Oregon, and I got to get to know her a little bit. And I've actually have worked in the wellness industry. I have 6 years experience working, 5 years experience working in the wellness industry. So at least for me, since she did, she does massage, for me, I understood the industry really well and how to help her market herself and work with Archetypes to do that. So today we're going to go over her Oracle brand book that I designed and created for her. And then we're also going to go through her website, because I also designed that as well for her. So this is basically the cover here. So one of the things you want to take in mind, and that I consciously do, is when I design the Oracle brand books for my clients, I actually apply the imagery, the colors, the fonts in the brand book. So that way it makes it easy for clients to understand how to actually apply the images, the colors, all the assets, and how to combine them together and how they can look together. So the book is not just about having information. It's literally like an inspiration or a guide to help you understand how everything works and how everything is linked together. So this is her cover here. Her business is Body Grace Massage by Susie, and her tagline is Carrying Hands, Grace with Love. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So let's go to the next page. This is the table of contents. I'm not going to go too much into that, because I already did that in the past Oracle brand book I went through with Danielle Holman Wedding. But basically, the Oracle brand book, or even the process that we go through, is split in 3 different sections. First, there's the brand soul, which basically is understanding, what are the top archetypes that my client has. And then we take them through the archetypal process so that we can create a soul for their brand. And then after that, that's basically the strategy part. So then after that, we go through the brand uniqueness part or section, which is where we start to figure out how to work with the archetypes and how to make their brand stand out from everybody else. And that's really important, because as a transformative brand, or a brand that makes a positive impact in the world, you don't want to blend in with everybody else. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. That's not how you create a brand. Unless your brand is about fitting in, you definitely don't want to go that route. And again, being authentic means that you're able to feel comfortable to be yourself and stand in your uniqueness. So this is kind of where we look at that. We look more at the we look more at her, like the audience, to understand their psychology. We look at the positioning for her brand and her products and services. Then we created a brand motto, the word vault, and a summary. And then the brand manifestation section is where we actually apply or manifest the brand into the world. So we start to look at the mood board, brand colors, brand fonts, textures, images, all the visual stuff is where this takes place. So the first section, the brand soul, we start off with the brand archetypes because that's really important. So her archetypes are the caregiver and the lover. And in this section, I just basically share some of the strengths that she has with this archetype, that the power that is in this archetype, like the strengths that are in this archetype and what she has to work with. So I'll just read a little bit. I'm not going to read too much because otherwise this is going to be a really long video. So as a caregiver, I empower those I care about by supporting them on how to better take care of themselves. I believe that empathy is a powerful tool for transforming pain. My goal in life is to be a catalyst to create a more perfect and caring world. As a lover, I notice people, places, or things that evoke beauty, love, passion, and connection. My strength is helping people appreciate each other, create strong intimacy, and helping them see the beauty in each other and around them. Before we go on to this next page, I just wanted to say, I did forget to mention this before. Like I said, I've worked in the wellness industry for about 5 years. In the massage world, in the spa world. And one of the things that I notice with massage therapists is that they're not necessarily that great at understanding what makes them stand out. Like everybody will say, like, the type of healing that I provide is very gentle. Or I provide these modalities of massage. That's what makes me different. And it's good to know those things, but that's not a brand. That's parts of your brand, but it's not the brand. So when I worked at a few different spas, and I was a supervisor at one of them. So I was basically in charge of making sure that, we were creating or marketing ourselves properly, and that we understood how to sell our services. And one of the things that I learned by working at these different places is I started to understand what made them different. For example, I worked at a resort and they had a spa there. So when I worked at that spa, we basically had everything. We had like a sauna, we had, a hot tub, that kind of stuff. And then we had products that were handcrafted, that were made. We actually had an herbalist there. So when we would sell products, or when we would sell products and the services, I would mention those uniqueness, like those things that made the spa unique to clients so that they would be interested. Now, I also worked at another spa that was a competitor to this spa, and it was a much smaller spa. It was a boutique spa, and that spa they had a lot of services, but it didn't have like all the amenities. And so you might think, well, it's hard to compare. It's hard to sell that compared to like, a full-on spa at a resort. But it actually wasn't, because what made that spa different, or for me, what I used to sell more services and products, was that we really took care of our clients. We made them feel like they mattered. And as the moment that they came in, everything evolved around them. So when we would get clients that would ask us, like, oh, what makes you different, or what makes you better from, other spas, I would be honest and tell them, well, we really take care of our clients. We really pamper them. And from the moment that you're here, we treat you like royalty. So if that's something you're looking for, then yeah, this is the right place for you. And, that's all I had to say. And people would be like, oh yeah, sign me up. Or what services do you have? So the point of sharing that is that you want to understand what makes you different. What is it about you and your services that you uniquely provide that nobody else will? And we're going to go more into that in later here. But I just wanted to say that before we move forward, because I feel like this is really important for people in the wellness industry, but anybody can apply it as well if they'd like to. Okay, so going back to this, So brand soul, brand magic and spells. So with all archetypes, their archetypes are not good or bad. It's it's how you use their energy that can make them work for you in a positive way or in a negative way. And because archetypes operate on our conscious mind and the collective unconscious mind, we could actually be using or working with their energy in a negative way. So the purpose of this is to just help you become aware of what are the positive or the strengths that this archetype has, and what are some of the spells you can fall into. So if you fall into that, you can redirect yourself back to the magic or figure out, what's going on there. And you want to do that the same thing with your brand, with your business. So if you have a strong caregiver and you start falling into this martyr, that's not going to work well for your business. That's not going to create a positive experience for your clients. So you want to make sure that you redirect that energy back to the magic, which is the strengths, and then that way it makes it just easier to navigate your brand that way. This next page here is the brand metaphor. The brand metaphor is basically the phase in the process where I look at my client's life, and I basically take their life and I look to see where those archetypes, the archetypes that they have really strongly operating, are showing up in their lives. And then I'm able to see the actual progress in their lives of maybe sometimes they'll start off with a warrior. And then, let's say that they have a strong magician, the magician will pop in at some point in their lives, and then the magician stays there. So for me, I am a very intuitive person and I can pick up on those things. So the hero's journey is about understanding how the person, my client, has evolved in their lives. And then what I do is I take that information and create a brand story for their brand. And that's why it's so important, again, because we're creating the story around the individual so it feels authentic to them. We're not just, pulling things out of the air. It's literally we're taking information from a deeper place in the person and then using that, transforming that to create a brand story so that when, that client talks about their story, it actually resonates with them, and people can feel it. People can feel that when they're being authentic, because they're being authentic when they share their brand from this place. So the idea of the hero's journey is that we all go through a journey in our lives. We go through a big journey, and then we go through little tiny journeys in our lives. And when you go through a journey, when you're going to start a journey in your life, for example, maybe you're going to go to college, that's a journey. Maybe you're going to get married, that's a hero's journey. Maybe you experience a death in the family, that's another hero's journey. There's all these different journeys we go through. And again, I'm looking at my clients as a whole, what is their journey? What is their hero's journey in their life? And how can we use that to infuse it into their brand? And the hero's journey starts off with the call. So this is why this is here. So I'm going to read what it says, the call. And mind you, my client is totally into spiritual stuff. So some of this stuff is a little bit kind of spiritually oriented. And, I just wanted to say that, because if you're not, that's fine. But I'm just giving you a heads up. So the call. Born as an innocent, meaning the innocent archetype, with empathic gifts. So she was born as an empath, an innocent and being able to be empathic, turned orphan. The orphan is another archetype that had to learn how to love and feel safe in myself. Feeling is strong says to feel safe and loved from a genuine level. So, she was growing up, she had this very strong innocent archetype that eventually turned orphan. And because of that, wanting to feel safe and loved generally by the people around her. So after that, she took upon this journey. Initiation into genuine self-care through self-love by experiencing abusive behaviors by those that are supposed to love and take care of them. Learning that part of feeling cared about is learning to love myself from within first and standing up for myself even when others won't. So this is the journey that she went upon because of the call. And then the transformation, or the North Star, that's literally where she's going, or where she was going in her life. Transforming the innocent and orphan inside into a strong, healthy parent / inner guide that supports me, loves me, protects me unconditionally. One that stands up for me when needed, shows me kindness, makes me feel safe to be myself, loves me unconditionally. An innocent and orphan turned angel guide. We use the word angel guide because she actually resonates with the energy or the idea of angels. The angel is actually part of the caregiver archetype. Angel guide for safety and inner love, which is who I really am and always have been. So she realized that she had this like inner part of herself that could take care of her and provide everything that she was looking for in others. And she called this part this angel guide because it literally was like that. Now the return, the gift, for the brand message. The return is once she understood this, then you return back to the world or, from your journey. And then you return back with a gift to give back to society, to make society better. And that's what became the brand message. So now this is what she's going to do with her brand. Helping others to feel cared about by helping them to feel love through feeling safe, self-care, self-love, and seeing the beauty inside themselves. Transforming tired and underappreciated caregivers to feeling loved and appreciated for their gifts of being caring to others by guiding them on how to care for the self, create a safe space for genuine self-love, and being compassionate with the self. So notice how we actually transform what she went through in her story, and now she's going to teach others how to do that through her massage services, right? This next page here is the core inner compass. It's still part of the same phase here, the brand soul. The core inner compass is just basically core values, and it's really important when you have a brand to have core values because that's basically your compass, what makes you stay in alignment with who you are, and also with your archetypes. And people love to know what your values are because if they have the same values, then they can resonate more with you and what you're about. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'll just go, read what it says on here. Compassion, loving, caring, trust, empathic, giving, empowering. So these are her core values, and these were actually taken from her archetypes as well. So again, we're infusing that energy in there. So this is the last part of the brand soul section, and now we're going to go into the brand uniqueness section. But before we go to that section, if you like what you're hearing so far and you like this kind of work and you want to create an authentic brand for your business or just to get to know yourself from a more authentic place, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel because my channel is all about this. Whether you're looking to be more authentic with yourself, to get to know yourself better on a deeper level, or you're looking to create an authentic brand, an authentic business, that's what I share in my channel. So make sure that you like my video to help me grow my channel, and make sure to subscribe as well so you'll get my weekly videos that I share. Now, this is the next phase. This is the brand uniqueness phase. So this is when we start to tap more into what it's going to make her different and how to apply it strategically to her messaging and how to connect with her audience. So the archetypal customer avatar, basically what we do in this phase, this is more of like market research that we do as well, and that I do, is we actually start to look at her past clients, or we start to look at her ideal audience, and we start to kind of tap into their psyche, into their needs and wants, and we work with that to be able to understand how to connect the archetypes with what they're looking for. So I'm just going to read something here really quickly. I'm not going to read all of it, but for her avatar, she is a mother, a businesswoman, or someone who is playing a caregiver role in some aspect of her life, who is stressed out, in pain, and worried about the people and things that come with life. She is worried about her loved ones, her job, her finances, and her future. The future of those she loves, which is causing physical pain and stress in her life. She may also have pain from her past, which is blocking her from living the life she truly yearns for. She feels that if she doesn't worry, things won't get done. She yearns for help to reduce the stress in her life. And now, with this, we worked with understanding the market, like the actual like massage spa / market, but also with the archetypes, because you understand the archetypes really well, you can kind of see the psychology behind them. So this is where a lot of that's coming from. I'll just read another one. She feels overworked and underappreciated. She worries and fears that if she becomes sick or something happens to her, her life will fall apart. She will lose her job, those she loves and cares about, her financial status, and become homeless. She will not be any good for those she cares about. Because she worries a lot and overextends herself, she fears that her health will suffer and she won't be good to anyone. So again, we're tapping into the psychology of the archetype, but also including the psychology of the actual audience that she's looking to connect with. Now, with that information, now that we took that information of, understanding the psyche of her ideal audience, now we're going to start to position her brand more. And that's what the brand aspects is about. So her brand is going to be about initiation to self-care and self-love from within. This is literally, to put it simply, this is literally what her brand is about. Initiation to self-care and self-love from within. So I'll read what it says here. Again, transforming this new powerful initiation from stressed out, overwhelmed, worried, and blocked to feeling genuinely cared about, pampered, safe, free of pain and stress, and more empowered in life. A massage for her, we're talking about the audience, the client, a massage for her is not just about relieving physical pain, but about reducing stress and worry in her life. The stress and worry is causing her to have pain. Focus on helping her understand that in order for her to truly be her best self, she needs to reduce the stress and worry in her life through massage. By the end of her massage with Susie, she will feel truly cared about and loved, like an angel loves us, again, because Susie's playing this kind of like guide, right? Her stress levels and worries will be dramatically reduced so much that her mind and spirit will have a greater clarity about the people and things that are important in her life and how to better support them. So this is literally how Susie is going to transform her audience and what her story is about, what she's actually, how she's positioning her brand and what she has to offer. Next page here is then we start to look at how to position her services, because it's one thing to position your business, your brand. It's another thing to position your services. You still have to look at how, now that you have a positioning for your brand, how is that going to be tied to your services? Because your services play an important role to making sure that you're consistent with this message throughout. So as a caregiver and lover brand, I offer products and services that are safe. Basically, help her audience feel safe, her clients. Caring, a loving space that feels warm, angelic, relaxing, pampering. Use angel energy. Again, we talked more about spiritual stuff. So, with the idea of like when you think of an angel, what's the energy that you feel? That she wants to create that energy in her healing space. So use angel energy to help her clients feel safe. Include feathers, soft textures, wings. Use crystals in the space or during a service, music, and soft curtains. The aspect here is use the senses through smells, textures, products, and visually with the environment to help awaken the inner lover within for self-love and self-care. For example, some examples are aromatherapy, an aromatherapy humidifier, small water fountain textures from sheets and blankets, colors on the walls, gemstone water, a place to relax for a moment after a massage. So again, we're looking at both the lover and the caregiver and understanding how can we bring in that energy into her service now. In this case, it's her space and also how she's offering her services. And again, these things are going to feel natural to her because she has these archetypes really strongly already operating. So we're just helping her be aware of that more and how to bring it out more. So I'm not going to share the rest of it. I'm going to post a link below where you can read the book if you like, if you want to read more, but I'm not going to read all of it because otherwise, again, it'll be a really long video. The next page here is the brand motto, which is basically her tagline, and that's how we came up with Caring Hands, Grace with Love. The Caring Hands is basically the caregiver, Grace with Love is the lover, and Grace is kind of playing with the name of her company. So Caring Hands represents my ability to be empathic and sensitive to my clients' bodies and where they're storing pain. Grace with Love is inspired by the energy and my love for angels who always keep us safe and inspire us to care and love ourselves and others. I'm not going to go through this page because it's basically just a bio that I created for her. And it's not really that important for this specific video. So I'm just going to skip this. And then the word vault. The word vault is basically the word vault are words that you use in your copy or when you're communicating with your audience. You want to make sure that you use these specific words because the words that, for at least for Susie, that she's using are words that trigger the lover and the caregiver in herself and people. So you definitely, the word vault you would use when you're creating copy on your website or any kind of copy, if you're making videos, you can use these words. When you're communicating with your audience, anytime you're communicating with them, you want to make sure that you use these specific words because that'll trigger something in your audience to connect with those archetypes in them. So that's the whole reason why we have a word vault. And this is basically the brand summary. So everything that we went through is kind of summarized here. So it's like a cheat sheet if, for Susie, if she wanted to use this. So I'm not going to go over that because we already went through everything. And now we go into the brand manifestation. So this is when we start to apply the brand in the world through visuals. And this is a mood board that I created for her. And again, you can kind of see there's a very strong kind of angelic feel to it. There's also this very earthy kind of tone to it. And that was really important for Susie. And my job as a designer and a creative person is to figure out how to use this mood board so that it connects with the archetypes. So I'm just going to read what it says here really quickly because it'll just help you understand a little bit more. The overall feel and look for my brand is inspired by the energy of angels, the earth, nature, fairies, and a warm, embracing, safe essence. Angelic energy and feathers are a vital part of my brand. I represent my caregiver archetype. This is the energy I use when working and guiding my clients during my massage sessions. It is also the energy I invoke in my brand and environment. The use of deep reds and soft, rich pinks create a warm and earthy feel that invokes the lover archetype in my brand. Rustic textures with a soft, deep feel, and the use of nature creates a healthy, sensual feeling that inspires both the caregiver, self-care, and the lover, self-love, archetypes in my brand and clients. The sage green represents healing and the caregiver aspect of my brand. My brand's version of white is a light beige, which creates a soft and safe feel. My darkest black is a smoky gray, which also creates a soft and calming yet deep feeling for my brand. So then you can kind of understand why, how these images are going to start to play out in her brand and the actual visuals. Then we go into the brand colors. So Susie really likes red. So, there's different colors of reds, and you definitely want to make sure you don't use the wrong reds because when you use a red that's like really orangey, it can make people angry. And it also, if you use like the wrong red, it can look kind of like blood. So you don't want to use that for this specific brand because this is about relaxation. So one of the challenges that I experienced was to try to find the right red for her that was earthy and invoked the lover archetype and the caregiver archetype. So this is the colors that I came up with after doing a bit of trial and error. So these are her two main colors, and then these are her supporting colors. So you can kind of see how even the two main colors have already a strong caregiver and a strong lover, but in a very earthy, like peaceful way. And then these colors are supporting colors, so they kind of help to bring in more of that like earthy feel. Then the purple is more like lover, this type of purple. So it also brings in that kind of like sensual type in a healthy way. Like we don't want to be sensual like in a like sexual way because that's not that's not appropriate for her industry, what she's doing. So you got to be very careful with the colors you use depending on what industry you're in. These are the brand fonts that we came up with for her brand. I'm not going to go too much into these. Again, if you want to read the book, you can. But basically, these fonts are based on her archetypes as well. This specific font right here is more of the lover, and this one's more of a caregiver, and it has more of like that like angel type feel that you can kind of see. It kind of looks like wings a little bit, and then these are more like clean, so it creates more of this clean feel to her brand. And then we go to the brand textures and images. And here, basically, the brand textures and images are super helpful so that you can understand what images you're going to work with that have the caregiver and lover archetype specifically for her. The textures are good to know because when you're designing stuff, you're going to want to use textures as well. Also, these are really great inspirational images to help specifically with Susie, to help her with the ambience of her space, of her massage space. So as you can see, these images have a very soft feel. They're very calming. They're very relaxing, and they have this kind of angelic feel to them. And then the images here are the images that she would use to promote herself. Again, you can see the angel feathers, wings here. Reds like that deep red, that green. This relaxation, bringing in a little bit of the red there. The purples from the color palette that we looked at earlier. And then I also include a brand image don'ts because I've noticed that sometimes people don't understand how images work when you're, trying to create a brand, and you can actually be using the wrong images that conflict with your brand. So these ones I have on here so that like it's very clear, like don't use any images that are like this because they're not a part of your brand. Specifically this one right here because, when you think of the lover, some people think about like, they go into the sexual part of it, but it's like, no, we're not even going there. So like, don't use photos like that. Don't use really bright, images like this really bright pink or corporate images or really dark images because that's not in alignment with her brand. And then here, this is just the brand application, just some examples of how her brand will look like when she starts to apply it. This is like an Instagram story here, and then how it looks like on the phone and iPad. And then the last thing that I share here is the brand style inspiration. What I like to do too, because I think it's really fun, is to actually give my clients ideas of what garments or clothing they can wear, because one of the things is like you want to invoke your archetypes in your brand and your business, but when you actually invoke it in your everyday life through what you wear, it helps you become more connected to those archetypes, and then you're consistent in every aspect of your life and bringing those archetypes in your life. And then people, when they see you, when you're literally wearing your archetypes and you're around people, they will connect with those archetypes as well. If you're being very mindful of kind of, what clothes you're using, that kind of stuff. So everything was just, be consistent. And again, that's how you create trust. And so for here, like really long flowy dresses, reds. So again, this is all completely in alignment with her brand. So if that was something that she wanted to, do as far as presentation, she could do that. This is the end of the Oracle brand book that I created for Susie, the Body Grace Massage with Susie. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at her website, because I also created her website and I applied her brand to her website. So I just wanted to show you how that looks like. So this is Susie's website that I created for her. You can see we applied her fonts here. I didn't create a logo for her because that wasn't part of her package. But what I did instead is I used the font, her brand font, and just, used her name with that font so that it's at least on brand in that way. So she didn't have to have like a logo right off the bat. She was using her font and her colors, and that made it simple. So let me try to figure out where I can put myself. Okay, so this is the home page. So again, here's her tagline. You can see the images here. And then here's where we start to look at the services. She offers therapeutic massage. She also has self-love packages. The therapeutic massage is more for like people that are looking for more like just regular massage, but therapeutic, where it's healing. And the self-love package is more for people that are looking for more pampering services. And then she also offers a seated chair and portable massage, so she can actually go to businesses and offer that there. And then here, this is where her specials would go. So that was something that she would do. And then this is a little short bio about her. And again, we infused her brand in here because it talks about creating a safe space and, you know, a caring massage experience that's intuitive and graced with love, that kind of stuff. So let's go into some of the pages here. So this is the About page. And again, here are some pictures of her room. She did make some changes to her room to create more of that, like, bring in more of the angelic feel. I don't think she's in this space anymore, but at that time I did see her actually put a lot of effort to change the aesthetics of her space, her massage space, so that it would be more in alignment with her brand. So then here again, we talked about, do you carry stress on your shoulders? So again, it's about understanding that her clients really are caregivers, so they naturally care about others. But because they care so much, sometimes they forget to take care of themselves. And by getting a massage, that's how they're learning to take care of themselves. And when they work with Susie, Susie also teaches them and guides them on ways to continue that self-care in their lives. So it's more about just a massage. It's literally an experience that she's creating. And then again here, the 7 core values are on here. So again, this is about the company, and this is about Susie, more about her. And then the services, therapeutic massage. So this is where more the traditional massage styles are. Swedish massage. Yeah, and then you can also get add-ons. And then if you want to book something, you know, this is where the form you fill out. And the self-love packages, they're not, this is something I did for her, and she was working to complete, but she's still working on that. But basically you can kind of see the idea of, there was like packages here that she was going to offer that were more pampering. And then also you can also offer gift certificates. And then we came up with the idea of love notes because of the lover. Love notes are like, you know, like testimonials, but instead of calling testimonials, we call them love notes because they're just more in alignment with her archetype. So these are just some of her testimonials from her clients that she's had before, and just her contact info. It's a really simple website. It's not really complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just want to make sure that your brand is really infused in there and the messaging is really infused in there, and you should be fine. But that's basically her website, and I just wanted to share that with you so you can actually see how her soul brand was applied to her in real life. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure to like my video to help me grow my channel, because again, I share valuable content like this every week. And also, if you are interested in creating an authentic brand for you, for your business, or just to get to know yourself better in a more authentic way, I do have an Archetype Guides Test that you can take. When you take the Archetype Guides Test, you'll get a report, a beautiful report that I created for you that will let you know what your top archetype is and how to work with that energy to get to know yourself better, and also how to infuse it in your brand. So it's really powerful stuff, and it's the first step you can take to begin in this journey, this initiation journey of getting to really know yourself and creating a business or a brand that is authentic with you, and really manifesting yourself in a world that feels authentic and genuine with yourself and resonates with the right people. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. And you'll want to make sure to stick around again for next week, because next week I'm going to be sharing, I'm doing this series, this ASMR series every month. So I'm doing the 12 main archetypes, but I'm doing these healing, transformative, relaxing sessions where I work with the 12 main archetypes. So each month I go through one of the archetypes, and I use that so that you can learn how to connect to all the archetypes in you. But it's more of a relaxing, healing session. So if you're into that kind of stuff, Again, make sure to subscribe because that will be coming out next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.